السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما كثيرا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا أما بعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وخير الهدي هدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة. Verily, all praises are for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We mention His beautiful names and His perfect lofty attributes. We ask Him for guidance and for help, for assistance and for direction. We ask Him for forgiveness and pardon. We ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to be merciful and kind to us, and to wash us and cleanse us of our countless sins. Those who have the ability to do this, to know who Allah is, and to accept and acknowledge who Allah is, and what His right is upon His servants, His created slaves, and to live and die in this manner, it's because Allah has truly blessed them. He has honored them. He has guided them. That's what's meant by guidance. It's to see it and to do it. To be able to see it, to be able to hear it, to be able to feel it, and then have enough strength, enough courage, enough bravery, enough consistency to physically move in accordance. That's what it means to be guided. That you know what's right and you do what's right. You see what's right and you act accordingly. And those who don't have the ability to know who Allah is, or they know who Allah is, but they don't acknowledge who He is, and avow it and accept it, or they know it, they accept it, they acknowledge, they know the truth, but they are in implementing it and acting upon it and translating it into deeds. Or they say that God is one. I believe that, but I'm a Christian, or I'm a Jew, or I have no form of religion. I'm just spiritual. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. Formal religion is not from God. That's from men. It's from the government, the church, the state. They made these formal religions. I'm just spiritual. If it's not Islam, submission to Quran, submission to the words of the Prophet, then it's called misguidance. For someone to be blind, for someone to be deaf, for someone to be dumb, for someone not to see and not act, or for someone to see, to hear, to know, but do the opposite. That's misguidance. And we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to protect us from all misguidance. Those who do it is because Allah has guided them. And those who don't do it or can't do it is because Allah Azza wa Jalla has misguided them. And those who are truly guided can never ever be misled. And those who are truly misled can never ever be truly guided. I bear witness and I testify that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, alone without any partner, is the one who deserves to be worshipped. And I bear witness and I testify that Muhammad, the son of Abdullah, may the prayers and peace, may the salutation and blessings of Allah Azza wa Jalla be upon him and his family and his companions, is his messenger, is the one who sent this message to all of the jinn and all of mankind. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He surely tells us in His glorious book to fear Him. And He diversifies this command. He mixes up this address, this khitab. Sometimes Allah tells us directly to fear Him. Sometimes Allah addresses us or people in the third party, third sense, or a man or a prophet. Ahlul Kitab, alladhina amanu, fear a day, fear a punishment, fear a wrath. But one thing that's for sure is that there has to be fear. One of the strongest and greatest emotions of the human being is to be afraid. Is to be scared of something. The Prophet ﷺ, he told us about those three men that were traveling that night, and then rain began to fall. And it was a storm. They were caught in a storm. So they needed shelter. They needed somewhere to go. They needed protection. They needed somewhere to light their fire. So they went into a cave. They went into a hole in the mountains. And they sat there and they rested. And behold, all of a sudden, a large boulder fell down. And the cave, its entrance, the mouth of the cave was down solid shut. No one could get out. And they knew for sure, these men from Bani Israel, that there was only one that could get them out of this cave. There was only one that could save them from dying of starvation. Or from dying from going crazy and mad, being in solitary confinement until death. A horrible way to die. One of the worst punishments is to be in solitary confinement, to go into a hole. That's why they put you in there. So these men, they knew the only thing that could save them was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing else can save us. So they sat down and they spoke and they talked. And one of them said, nothing will save you from this except the most righteous deed that you can ever or have possibly done for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one man, he mentioned this. Another man, he mentioned that. And one from among the three, he said that there was a woman. She was so beautiful. Her beauty was majestic. peerless, perfect. Everything about her was perfect. And not only was she beautiful and perfect, but I had a deeply rooted love for this woman and passion for this woman. So I offered myself to her. I asked the right way or the wrong way. I wanted to be with this woman, one way or another. And she said, no, thank you. I'm not interested. Please, no, thank you. So he was heartbroken. He was distraught. And all of a sudden, this woman, she became in a very needy situation. She had an emergency. Something happened, and she asked for money. So who did she go to get the money, the gold? Who do you think she went to? Her father, her mother, her uncle? No, she went to the man that was in love with her. The man asked her for herself. She refused him and turned him away. Why did she turn him away? She didn't like the way he looked. He wasn't noble enough. Whatever the reason is, she didn't want to be with him. And then she comes back and she asks for money. Stop and think about this now. How would you feel? What would your position be? Someone wants to be your friend, not in love with you, sleep with you. They want to be your friend. And you say, no, get out of here. I really don't want to talk to you like that. And then the next day say, yo, man, I need some money. I'm in a bad situation. Bismillah, can you help me out? The human nature is to say, what? I can't help you. You don't want to give me the salams, so don't ask for any help. You don't want to take my friendship, so don't ask me for any money. That's human nature. Let alone a woman that you are in love with, deeply in love with. And it's a prime opportunity now. She needs money. So the man, he says, I'll give you the money, but you have to give me something in return. Nothing is for free in this dunya. I give you money, you give me something that I want. She was forced. One of her parents was sick, about to die, whatever the case was, she was forced. She said, okay, no problem. So he laid her upon the bed, and she took off her clothes, and he took off his. The hadith says, فَقَعَدْتُ مِنْهَا قَعْدَةَ الرَّجُلِ مِنَ الْمَرْأَةِ. He says, and I sat between her legs. There's nothing stopping him now. He's this close from getting what he wants. And at the last minute, all of a sudden, he gave her the money. She said, اتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَا عَبْدَ اللَّهِ. Fear Allah. وَلَا تَفُضَّ الْخَاتِمِ إِلَّا بِحَقِّهِ. And do not deflower me. Don't take my virginity. Don't oppress me. Don't violate me unless you're my husband. So the man, he got up. And not only did he get up, which took a great deal of strength, a great deal of consciousness and fear of Allah, but he left the gold that he gave her and he walked away from it. We read this story as a nice story, but this is a real life situation. And which one of us, how many of us would have had the fortitude to walk away from that situation? Any woman, let alone a woman who's beautiful, let alone a woman that you're in love with, let alone you have the upper hand. Like Allah Azza wa Jalla told us about Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, is that this powerful woman, this influential woman, the wife of this leader, of this king, and 9 out of 10 times the woman was beautiful. When was the last time there was an ugly princess in a storybook? Have you ever had an ugly princess? No. The fairest in the land. She's going to be beautiful if she's married to royalty. She was older than Yusuf, bigger, powerful, stronger than Yusuf, more powerful than him. And not only was Yusuf, or did he have the opportunity to be with that woman, but she wanted him, which is the fascination of many men. She's rich and she's powerful and she wants him. As the Prophet ﷺ tells us in another tradition, the 7 people that will receive Allah's shade on the day of judgment. It says, وَرَجُلٌ دَعَتُ امْرَأَةٌ ذَاتُ مَنْصَبٍ وَجَمَالٍ. There's a man who is invited to fahisha by a woman who has power and beauty. What more could you want? She's beautiful, she's wealthy, and she's powerful, and she wants you. But he refuses and he walks away from the zina. So that is what the Prophet ﷺ said. And that is what Yusuf alayhi the situation that he was in. And every single eye was against him, and he still refused. And the same applies to this Israelite man who sat upon that woman, who lay upon that woman. And she said, at the last minute, not when she was taking off her clothes, at the last second, don't do this to me. And then he got up and he walked away and he left the gold. And he said, oh Allah, if I did this only for you, then please, oh Allah, help us out of this cave. And we know that the rock fell away, the boulder had vanished, and they kharaju yamshuna. The hadith says they left the cave safe and sound. Look at this story now of taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and its virtue and its benefit. That is what's for sure. The only thing that stopped the man from fulfilling his desires was fear. So fear is a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. Fear is a what? It's a very powerful emotion. And that's why Allah tells us to fear Him. We are to love Allah, hope for Allah, look forward to meeting Allah, but at the same time, we have to what? We have to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fear can break some men and cause other men to what? Break records, as He said. Fear is fuel. And that is why we are commanded to fill up our tanks with this fuel. Ittaqullah. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you can't understand it, if you don't understand it, if you want it or you don't want it, be scared of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you have no patience upon Allah's punishment. You have no sabr upon Allah Azza wa Jall's punishment. You may think that it's a simple, easy thing, but only Allah knows what is going to take place on that day. And He tells us He will punish like no other on that day. To proceed, the most excellent speech is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Quran al-Kareem. And the most excellent guidance is the guidance of the Messenger of Allah, alayhi salatu wasalam, the authentic sunnah. And everything that is not in the authentic sunnah and goes against the authentic sunnah and it's not Muhammad's practice, then it's misguidance, it's innovation. And innovation can only lead to the fire of hell. أما بعد قال الإمام البخاري رحمه الله تعالى في جامعه الصحيح حدثنا يحيى بن قزعة قال حدثنا إبراهيم بن سعد عن ابن شهاب عن أبي سلمة وعبد الرحمن الأعرج عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال استب رجلان، رجل من المسلمين ورجل من اليهود. قال المسلم والذي اصطفى محمدا على العالمين. فقال اليهودي والذي اصطفى موسى على العالمين. فرفع المسلم يده عند ذلك فلطم وجه اليهودي. فذهب اليهودي إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فأخبره بما كان من أمره وأمر المسلم. فدعا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم المسلم فسأله عن ذلك فأخبره. فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم لا تخيروني على موسى فإن الناس يصعقون يوم القيامة فأصعق معهم فأكون أول من يفيق فإذا موسى باطش جانب العرش فلا أدري أكان ممن صعق فأفاق قبلي أو كان ممن استثنى الله. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بما فيه من الآيات والذكر الحكيم. أقول ما سمعتم وأستغفر الله تعالى لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة الله وسلامه على عباده الذين اصطفى. أما بعد. Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala, he narrates in his authentic book from Yahya ibn Qaz'a, from Ibrahim ibn Sa'd, from Az-Zuhri, from Abu Salama and Abdurrahman al-A'raj, who narrated from Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, who told us about something that took place during the lifetime of the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam. Something that happened not in Mecca, not in Ta'if, instead in Medina. He says, "Istabba rajulani." He says once there were two men and they got into an argument. They got into a fight. And of course, when you argue and when you fight, you are taken over oftentimes by your ego. You become angry. Your blood boils. You become mad. And it's natural for you to say something which is unbefitting. They cursed each other and step up. You're this and you're that. Your mother, your tribe, whatever the case is, they got upset and they said some vile things towards each other. So therefore, the argument escalated and it became even more intense. So a Muslim man who argued with the Jewish man, it was the Arab and it was the Jew. The Muslim and the Israelite, quote unquote. So the Muslim or the Arab, he said, وَلَدِ اصْطَفَى مُحَمَّدًا عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. He says, no, I'm better than you, I'm bigger than you, and I'm going to win this argument because Muhammad was chosen to be better than everyone. No one's better than our prophet and our messenger, Muhammad. And he's from the Arabs. وَالَّذِي اصْطَفَى مُحَمَّدًا عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. I swear by Allah, who chose Muhammad over all created beings. فَقَالَ الْيَهُودِي. And obviously, reactionally, the Jewish man, he said, وَالَّذِي اصْطَفَى مُوسَى عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. He became upset, he became angry, he says, no, Moses is chosen over all of the alameen. And I swear by the one who chose Moses. فَرَفَعَ الْمُسْلِمُ يَدَهُ عِنْدَ ذَلِكَ. So he smacked him. How dare you say that Moses is better than Muhammad? How dare you say your prophet is better than our prophet? He slapped him in the face, he slapped him. And the Jewish man didn't fight back. He didn't slap the Arab or the Arab man back, but he went to the Prophet ﷺ. And he complained. And he told the Prophet ﷺ of what took place. That this man, this follower of yours, he slapped me in my face, he cursed me, and he said that you're better than our prophet. So the Prophet ﷺ, he called the Muslim, فَدَعَ الْمُسْلِمَ فَسَأَلَهُ عَنْ ذَلِكَ. He asked him first. He asked him, he verified the information. Did you do this? Did you slap him? Did so on and so forth? فَأَخْبَرَهُ. So he told him what happened. The Jewish man gave his side of the story, and the Arab man gave his side of the story. The Prophet ﷺ, he then addressed all of the companions and all of the Muslims. He said, لَا تُخَيِّرُونِي عَلَى مُوسَى. Do not say I'm better than Moses. Don't say that. Do not give me preference over Moses. Do not say I'm more virtuous, a bigger or better prophet and messenger than Moses. Why not? Why can't we say this? فَإِنَّ النَّاسَ يَسْعَقُونَ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Because on the day of judgment, everyone will fall unconscious. Everyone will be totally asleep. They'll fall out of it. We know that the Quran tells us about the trumpet being blown and the different stages and levels and times and instances in which the people fall out and become unconscious. So the Prophet said, everyone will go unconscious on this day. فَأَكُونُ أَوَّلَ مَنْ يُفِيقُ. And the very first individual to wake up, to regain consciousness, will be me. I.e., this is my virtue over everyone. فَإِذَا مُوسَى بَاطِنٌ أَوْ جَانِبَ الْعَرْشِ. And all of a sudden I will look up and I will see that Moses is holding on to a section or side of the throne of Ar-Rahman. فَلَا أَدْرِي. The Prophet said something, he said, so I don't know. أَكَانَ فِي مَنْ صَيْقَ فَأَفَاقَ قَبْلِي. Did he go to sleep? Did he fall unconscious and wake up before me? أَوْ كَانَ مِمَّنْ اسْتَثْنَى اللَّهُ. Or was he from those individuals whom Allah says, إِلَّا مَنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ, except for those whom Allah wills. Everyone will go to sleep and fall unconscious, except for those whom Allah wills. So the Prophet, he says that Musa, I don't know. Did he fall unconscious and wake up before I did? And if he did, then that's a virtue of Musa over the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Or was Musa alayhi salatu wasalam from those who never ever fell unconscious and never ever went to sleep? Either or, it proves that Musa alayhi salam has a great virtue. And in certain instances, he may have a virtue over me. This is what this hadith means. So the Muslim man said something which was true. And the Jewish man said something which was true. Everyone understand this? He said something which was true. But the Muslim's truth, or the Arab's truth, was absolute. And the Jewish man's truth was limited and restricted. Musa, during the time of Musa, was the best of the best. وَأَنِّي فَضَّلْتُهُمْ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. All created beings, they were better than. But when Muhammad came, and when he became a prophet and a messenger, Muhammad is absolutely the best. And that is why the Muslim man slapped him in his face. Because he said something which was batil, and he disrespected the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. The Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam, he never told the companions, don't believe that I'm better than Musa, because that's clearly the truth. And Allah tells us in the Quran, those are the messengers. Some of them we made better than others. And the Prophet he says, "Ana Sayyid waladi Adam." I'm the best of the sons of Adam. Wala fakhra. Without bragging and without boasting, I am the best. Without bragging and without boasting, I'm better. But he wanted his companions to have respect for Musa. He wanted his Sahaba not to say things that would lead to something which was worse. Not to be fanatical, not to be ignorant, and not to be impulsive. Me being better than Musa is a fact, but not like this, and not from you. Not at the time of anger, not at the time of fighting and smacking and using violence. That's not how you prove and establish the truth. But Musa, he does have a tremendous virtue. He has a tremendous virtue. So that's what happened. And we benefit many things from this hadith, which we don't have time to get into right now. Some of the things we benefit from this hadith is to confirm and verify information. فَسَأَلَهُ عَنْ ذَلِكَ. Did you really do this? Because there's clearly a conflict between you and this man. He's a Muslim and you're not a Muslim. He's Jewish and you're Arabian. Which one? He verified the information. And it shows us that a man is responsible for that which his followers do. And it is to teach and discipline his followers. And they are to behave as he teaches them. And we live in a time today in which the people, they have no problem saying someone is better than someone else. Someone is more knowledgeable than someone else. He's the greatest, the biggest scholar alive today. He knows better than everyone else. This brother knows better than anyone else. And the Prophet says, don't say that I'm better than what? Musa alayhi salam. But the Prophet is clearly better than him. But don't necessarily do that. So what's the purpose of this khutbah, brothers and sisters? And what is its relation to our time and our season? this hadith shows us is that Musa alayhi salam in al-Islam has a tremendous virtue, which is known to every Muslim. He's the most frequently mentioned prophet in the Quran. And Allah tells the story of Musa and complete virgin like no other prophet in the book. He tells about him being a child. He tells about him in Harun. He tells about the worship of the calf. He tells about him in Pharaoh. He tells about the Jews in Egypt and Palestine, and the list goes on. The virtue and the story of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. And from the virtue of Musa is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He promised him something. And He gave him something. From that which Allah promised and gave to Musa, Allah Azza wa Jalla, He says, وَوَاعَدْنَا مُوسَى 30 لَيْلَةٍ وَأَتْمَمْنَاهَا بِعَشْرٍ فَتَمَّ مِيقَاتُ رَبِّهِ 40 لَيْلَةً. He says, وَوَاعَدْنَا مُوسَى 30 لَيْلَةً. We promised Moses 30 nights. 30 nights we gave him a promise. وَأَتْمَمْنَاهَا بِعَشْرٍ. And then we gave 10 more. فَتَمَّ مِيقَاتُ رَبِّهِ 40 لَيْلَةً. And it was 40 nights that Musa alayhi salatu wasalam had. With وَعَدْنَا مُوسَى 40 لَيْلَةً. And Allah says in another verse. And remember when we promised Moses 40 nights. Mujahid ibn Jabal, the student, the disciple, and the pupil of Abdullah ibn Abbas, he said regarding this ayah, كما رواه عبد الرزاق عن معمر عن يزيد بن أبي زياد عنه أنه قال. He says that there isn't a time ما من أيام أو ما من يوم أو أيام من أيام السنة العمل فيها أفضل من هذه العشر. He says there isn't a time in which 10 days are better, more virtuous, and more excellent than the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. And from that which proves this is what Allah Azza wa Jalla says, and we promised Moses 30 nights. وَأَتْمَمْنَاهَا بِعَشْرٍ. And then we gave him 10 more nights. He says the 10 days and nights of Dhul Hijjah. The 10 days and nights of Dhul Hijjah is from that which Musa alayhi salam received from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Mujahid, he said, this tabi'i, the best time to do virtuous deeds, righteous actions, is during the 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. And from the things which prove that, is that it's something that was passed down from the time of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. So the ulama of Islam, they say, did Musa sallallahu alayhi wasallam get 30 nights and then 10? Or were the 10 nights added in the middle, or were they added in the end? What's important is, brothers and sisters, we're living in a very special time, a very sacred time, a very excellent and meritorious time. And it's not for us to treat these days like normal days. This is well known. Most khatibs are talking about this in their khutbahs today, and they're quoting the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Me, myself, I wanted to address it from a different aspect and from a different angle. The virtue of these 10 days and of these 10 nights. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our good deeds. We ask Allah to allow us to make these good deeds. And last but not least, brothers and sisters, advice with regards to these 10 days and these 10 nights is the advice that we give before and after these 10 days and these 10 nights. The Prophet ﷺ, he says, "Man yuridillahu bihi khayran yufaqihu fi din." Whatever Allah wants good for, He gives them understanding of the religion. So you have to be knowledgeable and learn it before Ramadan, during Ramadan, and after Ramadan. It's for each and every single Muslim to have a basic level of knowledge before Hajj, during Hajj, and after Hajj. It is my duty and responsibility to learn that which is proper and correct regarding before the Eid, during the Eid, and after the Eid. And I will make myself a laughing stock, a mockery, and a total fool if I only wanted to speak knowledge when Ramadan came. I only want to pick up a book and read the Quran during the times of the Eid. The only time which is important to learn which is correct and follow the Sunnah is looking for the moon, as many of us do. We only become religious in Ramadan. We only think about the rulings of Allah and His Messenger when it's time for something festive. Stuff my belly and put on expensive clothes. Now I'm aware and conscious of the rulings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's wrong. That's incorrect. So with regards to sighting the moon, looking for the moon, when to celebrate Eid, when not to celebrate Eid, what time to break the fast, when not to break the fast, when do we slaughter, when don't we slaughter, going on Hajj, making Hajj. It is our responsibility to learn which is correct. 24 hours out the day, 7 days out of the week. No. 25 hours out the day and 8 hours. Or 25 hours and 8 days. All of the time. وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينُ. Allah says, worship your Lord until death comes to you, O Muhammad. So we can't just be religious and knowledgeable when it's convenient for us. And know for sure that the issue of sighting the moon and looking for the moon and when is the Eid and when not is the Eid is an issue of knowledge. And if you do not have the proper knowledge, please don't speak about that issue. If you only talk about the sunnah and ilm and ulama and the fuqaha, when it pertains to the Eid, you shouldn't say anything about knowledge. It's best for you to be a follower. And if you're a person of knowledge, and you believe that something is right and correct, and someone else differs with you, then there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you have the necessary respect, and as long as you can prove what you're saying. So the Eid, when is it and when isn't the Eid? When will the pilgrims be on Arafah or not? Yom al-Nahar, etc. Sometimes the Muslims, they agree with this with hamd, and there are other times in which they may differ. What's important is to follow what you believe is the truth. What's important is to avoid that which you have no knowledge of, and to stick with that which is the safest and simplest thing to do if you are a safe and simple thinking type of individual. وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ. Allah tells the Prophet, who is the most knowledgeable, the most righteous, the most pious, he had the greatest amount of fiqh of the ummah, of this ummah. He says, do not go near that which you have no knowledge of. Why not? إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. Allah says, because your eyes, your ears, and your hearts, you'll be asked about those things. What you said and what you did, Allah will ask you. So it's upon us to refrain from speaking about that which we don't know. And it's upon me to refrain from talking about issues that I have not yet perfected. And we go with what we know, and if we're unsure, we go with that which is safe. That's my advice for myself and for each and every single Muslim, and may the prayer be established right now.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله